Michael shook his head. I don't get it. I am saying that outside influences are not responsible for where you are mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, or financially. You have chosen the path to your present destination. The responsibility for your situation is yours. Michael jumped up from his chair. No, he cried. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was trying to help by driving my friends home that night. Everything just went all wrong. It's not my fault. Truman placed his hand on Michael's back. Sit down, he said softly. He pulled a chair around to face Michael, who was now trembling with anger and confusion. Look here, son. It is not my desire to upset you, but with the limited time we have been given together, truth will have to come before tact. The president leaned forward and took a deep breath. Listen to me. You are where you are because of your thinking. Your thinking controls your decisions. Decisions are choices. In the past few years, you have made choices that will affect the rest of your life. You have chosen your friends, how highly to regard your parents, whether to study or go to a party on a Friday night. You began making choices years ago that led you to your present situation, and you walked right down the middle of the path every step of the way. Truman paused. He pulled out his handkerchief and wiped his brow. Michael's head was hanging, his chin on his chest. Michael, look at me, the president said. The words, it's not my fault, should never again come from your mouth. The words, it's not my fault, have been symbolically written on the gravestones of unsuccessful people ever since Eve took her first bite of the apple. Until a person takes responsibility for where he is, there is no way to move on. The bad news is that the past was in your hands. But the good news is that the future, my young friend, is also in your hands. As the president leaned forward to touch Michael on the shoulder, he was interrupted by 3 quick knocks at the door. Mr. President, came a voice from the hallway. It was Fred Canfield again. He opened the door slightly and said, 5-minute warning, sir. I'll wait for you out here. Mr. Churchill and the Russian are already making their way to the conference room. Thank you, Fred, Truman chuckled. Once the door closed, he said, It seems my bodyguard doesn't care very much for Mr. Stalin. Come to think of it, neither do I. But I suppose he's a necessary part of this process. He stood up and began rolling down his sleeves and buttoning the cuffs. Michael saw the president's jacket hanging over the back of the desk chair and went to retrieve it. What will you do? He asked. Truman buttoned his collar and straightened his tie and looked over at Michael. Let's not play games here, son. You studied your history. I think we both know what I'm about to do. Do I want to do it? Do I want to deploy this bomb? Of course not. He walked quickly to his desk and gathered several notebooks. Suddenly he put them down again and faced Michael. I don't have any idea what you know about me. He paused. I don't know what people say about me in the, He wriggled his left hand at Michael, as if he couldn't come up with the words he wanted to say. I don't know what they say about me where you come from. For all I know, history books are full of what I eat or how I dress, and frankly, I don't care. But let's get something straight between you and me. I hate this weapon, okay? I'm scared of it and concerned about what it might mean for the future of our world. He stared blankly at Michael for a moment. It was as if he was seeing something in his own future, and it frightened him. Shaking his head to clear his thoughts, he said, Still got the paper? Yes, sir. Michael held up the folded page that had never left his hand. Well then, the president said with a smile, go ahead and read it. He walked to the door and opened it, and was about to go through when he paused and turned and said, Michael? Sir, Michael answered. Good luck, son. Thank you, sir, Michael said. Truman turned to leave, but again he reached back and shook Michael's hand. And just because I use the expression good luck doesn't mean that luck has anything to where you end up. And with that, the President of the United States closed the door. Michael was now alone in the large room. He walked slowly to the desk and sat down in the big leather chair where Truman had been only moments before. He slowly unfolded the paper and began to read. The first decision for success. The buck stops here. From this point forward, I will accept responsibility for my past. I understand that in order to have wisdom, I must accept responsibility for my own problems, and that by accepting responsibility for my past, I free myself to move into a bigger, brighter future of my own choosing. Never again will I blame my parents, my friends, my teachers, my coach, or my boss for my present situation. Neither my education nor lack of one, my genetics, or the ups and downs of everyday life will affect my future in a negative way. I will look forward. I will not let my history control my destiny. The buck stops here. I accept responsibility for my past. I am responsible for my success. I am where I am today because of decisions I have made. My decisions are controlled by my thinking. I will begin to change where I am today by changing the way I think. My thoughts will be constructive, never destructive. My mind will live in the possibilities of the future, and not in the problems of the past. I will choose to be around others who are working and striving to bring about positive changes in the world. I will never seek comfort by being around those who have decided to be comfortable. When I have the opportunity to make a decision, I will make one. I understand that God did not give me the ability to make right decisions. He did give me the ability to make a decision, and then make it right. When I make a decision, I will stand behind it. I will put my energy into making the decision. I will not waste my time on second thoughts. My life will not be an apology. It will be a statement. The buck stops here. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. From now on, when I'm tempted to ask, why me? I will immediately answer, why not me? Challenges are opportunities to learn. Difficulty is preparation for greatness. I will accept this preparation. Why me? Why not me? I will be prepared for something great. I accept responsibility for my past. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. I am responsible for my success. The buck stops here.